Welcome to Season 21 of Alliance War. I have joined the Hurt Locker, LKHR, for this season. They're currently in Tier 5, so a little bit of change of pace from the Master Level Wars of DSVG. Wishing them all the best in achieving Masters again, and hopefully back with you guys in the future. So I'm going to be running a team of Doctor Doom, Corvus Glaive, and Human Torch. We're going to be running Path 8 for this season, so it's a little change from Path 2 from last season, so that's quite nice. It's a different set of fights and nodes, so that's always welcome. So first up is a Morning Star, and I'll be using Human Torch, and I don't have to worry about the bleed that she has when she has one soul, because Human Torch has energy based attacks and not physical. That is the only way you can get bled if you are susceptible to bleeds from Morning Star with one soul. She's also a mystic, so anytime I parry or block, smolder charges will be increasing, and that will just make the fight even faster. I am going to be trying to avoid getting it an SP2. I just find that there's more risk in evading that than any other one, and during war, taking the risk out of a fight is the main priority in order to get the solo. There we go, that was a super quick fight, an easy solo. Moving on to the next fight, which is an invisible woman. She does have the Blood in the Water node on this fight, so if she does get debuffs on me, she will have a 200% passive fury, so I need to not get hit by that, as she can still do some mega damage even though she's only rank 4. I will be using Human Torch again, just find him better of the 3 that I have with me for this fight. So I can parry as well, so getting the invisibility offer is a pretty simple job as well. So that is quite nice. I do find her a wee bit annoying on stun immune nodes, so again this really isn't great placement for her, even though the debuffs and that she does place on you trigger the passive fury. I'm going to be blocking her special with the first bar anyway, because it's energy based, and just to get one or two smolders here, just to increase my damage, make the fight go faster, and secure the win. Wasn't too many hits either. Pretty speedy fight, and on to the next one. So this fight is the first middle mini. We've got Captain Marvel and backup recovery and power snack. So I'm just going to be getting a parry off, one hit and heavy to place a stagger on her. Because of the shocks Dr. Doom places, it does interact with her binary charges and exponentially increase them while the shock is up. So if I've got a stagger on and knock her down like so, her fury and indestructible buff will just be staggered, so I don't have to worry about them. I did miss the evade on her first SP1, I just wasn't ready for it as I was blocking. Didn't think she'd throw it, but being unblockable when she did. You have a cheeky move, but hey ho. This fight is just about done now. Despite that, I should just take 2 or 3 hits coming out of this SP3 and she's in the bin. Not too troublesome, some fairly odd placement, but works in my favour, so easy peasy. Next fight up is a Man Thing on Encroaching Stun. Now I don't have a poison immune champion, but I'm just going to be using Human Torch. I'm going to let the debuffs do the work and just time both our bars of power around the Encroaching Stun timer. I'm going to try and make sure he doesn't get a bar of power before the first timer ends. I just don't want to risk him throwing it during the timer when I get stunned. Even though I'm running 5 out of 5 limber, the stun will be long enough for him to probably take me out. So I just want to take that risk out of it. Past the first timer, and And now I'm just going to try and get to an SP2 in order to get rid of both bars of power at once. Again, trying to minimise the risk of this timer. Backing off as it's ending. Trying to get in one more parry and throw my own special. Now this next timer, I'm almost at a bar of power, so I can take a time and bait this special out. There was a moment right about now where I was thinking, please use it. This timer is getting too close. And now again, just get another parry, do a little bit of combo and get my own special off. Now, I do have a poison on because of willpower. It's barely doing any damage, and this fight is done. Pretty simple. His debuffs did most of the work there, so nice solo again. So the first fight up in section 2 of Path 8 is Professor Xavier, and the first thought that went through my head when I saw this was Corvus food. I managed to get a wee charge here, which is going to set up the domino mini I'm going to be taking later on just nicely. It means I'll be able to get a second charge when she evades me during that fight. It also has suicides on, which just makes this fight even easier. I always like seeing suicides on, as the damage it does to the defender with the boosted health is just such a benefit for us as attackers. And the recoil just makes everything go faster. I'm just going to throw this SP1 and he's just about dead. So I need to parry this medium and boom, in the bin. So this last fight on Path 8 is a little bit infuriating. I don't know whether what happens is a bug or not, but it pissed me off. Normally a really easy fight, despite being a rank 5 Venom. Something happens that I'll talk about when it does, that just really pissed me off. At the moment I'm just getting staggers on, making sure Venom's buffs don't trigger. It's because the rich get richer node, so I want to keep it under control and feed my Mystic Dispersion. So far it's a pretty standard fight until now. He blocks me, gets the resist with that mastery, I can't remember what it's called, but also triggers parry at the same time, and it gives him the SP3. So at this point I'm just thinking, I'm going to die, I'm stunned, but luckily he only does a double medium and I can throw my special 3 to get the fight back under control. I don't know if that was a bug or what, but there goes some potions. At this point I was really pissed off. It's just a ridiculous thing. You know, we can't do that as summoners, can't block a heavy and parry at the exact same time. But you know, just another fun and interactive moment of Marvel Contest of Champions. I'm just quite glad that I got the solo. So now we're moving on to the minis. This is the stun reflection node, and we're against a rank 5 thing. So I'm really just going to be using Human Torch, getting incinerates off, which means I can parry from time to time, but I am going to be trying not to for the most part, just because I have done this fight before, thought the timer was on where I could parry even though I've got incinerates on, and it's not. I get stunned and then put in the bin. So I'm just going to be blocking a lot, just trying to keep that indestructible buff off for as much as I can, and storing to an SP3. One, because it's got less hits, so I can keep things rock stacks in check. Also, the SP3 only counts for 1 rock stack, so it is way more manageable during this fight. It may trigger the Nova part of Human Torch's abilities, but I won't really get to use that, as the thing does go indestructible. I'm just trying to bait him out here. He threw the heavy, that's really what I wanted. I'm just going to launch this and just continue the fight. As long as you don't miss time a parry or an evade on his specials, this fight is a long one, but it's definitely not as difficult as, say, I don't know, Warlock. I find him quite tricky. and quite annoying. It's got an annoying special 1 to evade. If you mistime that, you just get a ton of shock damage on you. So I've got a nice rhythm going here. And he is pretty liberal with his specials, which is good because sometimes the thing can just throw multiple heavies one after the other while you're trying to bait out his special at 15 rock stacks. It does get a little bit dicey as you get back into a corner, but this guy is being pretty friendly in that regard, which I'm quite glad of. I didn't actually mean to parry there, but it worked out in my favour. Luckily the timer was up so I could parry. I imagine even with 5 out of 5 limber on and him at max rock stack, not rock stack, sorry, the passive furies, he would have probably put me in the bin, and that would be more potions down the drain. But spoiler alert, I do get the solo here. It is a pretty long fight. I do lose a fair chunk of damage just by blocking, but I would rather play it safe this way than do risky stuff and risk getting a death. I wasn't sure at this point if we were going to win or not. I got super lucky there. I don't know where that heavy came from. I think that my finger was just on the screen a wee bit too long, but luckily I had a wee pause before you threw that special, because that would definitely have killed me. I don't have any boosts on here, so no invincible boost to save my backside. And there we go, thing is down. Nice wee solo on that pretty tricky fight. So now we move on to the last fight of this video. We've got a domino on the brute force spry and limber mini. This is why getting a corpus charge is so great. It just gives me that extra damage to get her down even faster. So the main thing I need to worry about here is just her evading and launching a special, which I have seen many a time in Alliance Quest Map 6. And right on cue she evades and launches a special, but luckily I got away with that one. And now I've got 2 charges. I was trying to save my parries in order to get that. I just figured that with the extra damage on 2 charges, it would just give me a little bit of safety. After 1 parry, I might not have got that, just with the limber, and if they are running a couple of points in the limber mastery as well, that can really have screwed me over. I did make a mistake there. I paused slightly and the limber kicked in and she was able to get 1 hit, but I got the solo, so that's all that matters. We did get the win in the end. That's 2 from 2. It's a really good start of the season. Hopefully that's many more wins to come throughout and we can get platinum of some sort. Anyway, if you did enjoy this video, please drop us a like, give us a wee comment. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for future content. Good luck in your own seasons, everyone, and I'll catch you in the next one. All the best.